Okay, we're back, and this is going to be most likely the conclusion of the major portion of our Bible study series on the authorship of the fourth gospel. We are in episode number 7, and the topic here is the events of chapter 21, which is the closing chapter of the fourth gospel. So here we go. Let's get into the text, verses 1 and 2. After these things, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias, and in this way he showed himself. Simon Peter, Thomas called the twin, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and 2 others of his disciples were together. Jumping down to verse 7. Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, "It is the Lord." Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he had removed it, and plunged into the sea. So note here, the author, the beloved disciple, mentions that the sons of Zebedee were present at the Sea of Tiberias, but additionally, he mentions that 2 others of his disciples were present. So a reasonable interpretation of what's going on here is that the beloved disciple or the other disciples it's not one of the sons of Zebedee. That's the most basic way to understand that. So it's just a quick little note there. Verse 18 to 25. Most assuredly, this is Jesus talking to Peter. Most assuredly, I say to you, when you were younger, you girded yourself and walked where you wished. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will gird you and carry you where you do not wish. This he spoke, signifying by what death he would glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said to him, "Follow me." Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following, who had also leaned on his breast at supper, and said, "Lord, who is the one who betrays you?" Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, "But Lord, what about this man?" Jesus said to him, "If I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me." Then this saying went out among the brethren, that this disciple would not die. Yet Jesus did not say to him that he would not die, but, "If I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you?" So concerning this narrative, we can consider in a previous episode, it was episode 5, if you want to check it out if you haven't seen that yet, we investigated the identity of the beloved disciple who had leaned on Jesus' breast at the Last Supper. The evidence in there, as in each of the other episodes, points to Lazarus and not to any of the 12 disciples. And regarding the question that Peter had asked Jesus about the beloved disciple, Peter says, "What about this man?" Now he's asking whether or not the beloved disciple would die. Now regarding Lazarus, this would be a very good question. Did Jesus raise Lazarus from the dead with the intent of also keeping him alive forever? However, regarding the Apostle John, this question had actually already been answered in the Synoptic Gospels. We can go to Matthew and take a look at this. And this passage we've seen before in previous episodes, but for a different reason. Then the mother of Zebedee's sons came to him with her sons, kneeling down and asking something from him. And he said to her, "What do you wish?" She said to him, "Grant that these 2 sons of mine may sit, one on your right hand and the other on your left, in your kingdom." But Jesus answered and said, "You do not know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I am about to drink, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?" They said to him, "We are able." So he said to them, "You will indeed drink my cup and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and my left is not mine to give, but is for those for whom it is prepared by my Father." So note here, Jesus had already foretold the martyrdom of both James and John. James was killed with the sword in Acts 12:2. There are a number of rumors, stories, and theories regarding the martyrdom of John, and this actually might be a topic of a future Bible study series on this channel, but let's put that aside for now. So consider, Peter was present when Jesus foretold the martyrdom of the sons of Zebedee. Therefore, there's no need for Peter to ask if John was going to avoid death, because the question had already been answered. Additionally, if Peter were asking about John's fate, Jesus could have simply replied, "I already told you." So consider, the reasonable answer is that Peter was talking about Lazarus, the disciple whom Jesus loved. And in the closing of the fourth gospel, verses 24 to 25, we have the identification of the author, who is the beloved disciple. It says, "This is the disciple who testifies of these things and wrote these things, and we know that his testimony is true. And there are also many other things that Jesus did, which, if they were written one by one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. So, as the fourth gospel closes, so does our Bible study series. And our conclusion, if you're in agreement, is that the disciple whom Jesus loved and the author of the fourth gospel is indeed Lazarus. Again, your comments, questions, objections are welcome. Lord willing, looking forward to have you join us in the next Bible study series. The topics yet to be determined yet, and I'm not even sure if the Lord will have us do another series, but we'll see. And additional video episodes may be added to this playlist in the future to include any relevant matters or any further revelation regarding the beloved disciple and everything else we've talked about in this study series. So we are going to leave it open, even though for the most part, I think the study has been concluded. There'll just be some additional stuff added. Again, thank you for watching. And until then, contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints, and God bless.